Okay, let's talk about the one mistake that is secretly, silently wasting your computer's RAM. First things first, you have to get this in your head. Your computer's RAM is not infinite. It's not some bottomless pit you can just keep throwing stuff into. It's a limited, very precious resource.
And yeah, there's this one tiny little mistake that seems totally harmless at first, but it's the thing that's slowly, quietly killing your program from the inside.
And get this isn't some obscure, super advanced error. Nope. It's something pretty much every single person makes when they're learning to code. And most of the time, they have no idea they're even doing it.
So to really get what's happening here, we need a good mental picture. Let's try this. For the next few minutes, I want you to just imagine your computer's memory is this massive warehouse.
So what's the RAM in this picture? Well, that's the warehouse itself. It's all the floor space you've got to work with. And when it's full, well, it's full. There's nowhere else to put stuff. Now, every single time you create a variable in your code, you're basically taking a box, slapping a label on it, and sticking it on a shelf in that warehouse. It's taking up real physical space. And the data type, whether it's a number or text or something else, that's what tells you what kind of box you're using. Is it a tiny little box for a number or a bigger, longer box for a sentence? It sets the rules for what can actually go inside. So check this out. If you have a variable called name that's holding the text Alex, that's like using a box made specifically for text. But if you have another variable for age that's holding the number 25, that's a totally different kind of box, right? It's one made just for numbers. You can't just shove anything into any box. It has to be the right fit. Okay, so if it's that simple, then where's the problem? What's going wrong? Well, it all kicks off with this really common and honestly pretty dangerous assumption that we all make. So many of us, especially when we're starting out, just think, the computer will handle it. We just create variables and expect the machine to figure everything out. It feels kind of like magic, right? And I get it. Modern programming languages are so powerful, they can make us forget what's really happening under the hood. It's super easy to fall into that trap.
But here's the thing. It's not magic. And that assumption, it's just no. Flat out no.
Look, your computer does exactly what you tell it to do. It's not a mind reader. It can't guess what you meant to do. It just follows your instructions, word for word. So if you tell it to be wasteful, well, it's going to be wasteful. That responsibility, it's all on you. And this whole way of thinking leads us straight to what I call the 3 silent RAM killers. These are the common mistakes that just start filling up your warehouse with useless junk. So let's break them down. We've got using the wrong data type, making variables you don't even use, and the big one, the most dangerous of all, just totally forgetting that memory even has a cost. All right, mistake number 1, using the wrong tool for the job, or in our case, the wrong box. A classic example is storing a simple number inside a text box. Not only is that box way bigger and bulkier than it needs to be, which wastes space, but it can cause all sorts of weird bugs later when your code tries to do math with something it thinks is just text. Okay, killer number 2. This one is just pure clutter. It's when you declare a variable, put a box on the shelf, and then you just never use it. It seems like no big deal, right? But it's exactly like filling your warehouse with empty boxes. They're just sitting there, taking up precious space for absolutely no reason at all. But this third one, this is the real killer. This is what happens when you create a new variable inside a loop. Think about what that means. Every time that loop runs, every single time, you're putting a brand new box on the shelf. It's not just wasting space once, it multiplies that waste over and over and over, creating this silent monster that just eats up your RAM. And this chart really shows you the danger. I mean, look at it. After one loop, whatever, it's one tiny box. You won't even notice. But after 100 loops, now you've got 100 boxes. And 10,000? Forget about it. You can literally watch your memory usage just explode. Suddenly, your warehouse is completely overflowing, and you don't even know why. So you might be sitting there thinking, okay, but my little programs run just fine. What's the big deal? Well, these little mistakes, they have massive consequences when you start building real stuff. Let me show you what I mean. When you're just coding up a small script or something for school, yeah, you'll probably get away with it. Your program finishes so fast, the warehouse doesn't have time to get too full. But when you're working on a real app, something that has to run for hours or serve thousands of people, this waste is no longer a small deal. It's huge. Your app starts to slow down, it gets sluggish, and then, poof, It crashes. So, what's the fix? How do we stop this from happening? It's actually all about a big shift in how we think about our code. We have to start thinking of something I like to call the memory contract. And this is the single most important takeaway from all of this. A variable isn't just a name you give to a piece of data, it's a contract. Think about that. Every time you create a variable, you're making a formal promise to the computer. You're promising it exactly how much space you're going to need and what kind of stuff you're going to put in that space. And the computer, it trusts you to be smart about that promise, to honor that contract. So the next time you